Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this brand new series of Brexit Britain. Now, of course, the title is somewhat controversial. I'm fully aware of that, and I did want to do something with it, but I wanted to wait a week or two to allow emotions to cool down a little bit. My own, of course, being included in that. I am a EU resident living in Britain right now, so it does have certain ramifications for me. Now, that's not to say that I was angry with the result. I was more disappointed. Yeah, very, very disappointed would be the way to say it. But in the best traditions of British humour, I'm going to turn this into something of a satire. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn Brexit Britain into an actual scenario in Hearts of Iron. So we are, of course, going to play as a UK. I'm going to switch to a veteran to make this a little more challenging, although it will be, with the rules that I'm imposing upon myself, be rather more challenging. So, of course, the game immediately decides to crash on me. Anyway, so what does it mean that we are playing as Brexit Britain? Well, it has a couple of consequences for us. First of all, none of these territories that we have outside, yeah, they're not ours. We're just Britain. Kingdom of Egypt. Now I'm going to release Israel first, because I think I can also release Palestine just for... Oh, no. Sorry, it's going to be Israel this time. And Yemen. Ireland, that would be returning Northern Ireland, which is still technically part of the UK. Now, I probably should also be losing Scotland and Ireland at this point, but I'm going to keep those just to make this actually, worthwhile. The other thing I will be doing, and this is not a dialogue on the current politics in Britain, but we are going to speed through time and we're going to switch to a fascist government. Now, like I said, that is not a dialogue on current politics, although clearly it's moving in a certain direction right now, but mostly because as a democracy you cannot declare war on anyone, and as a Brexit Britain we want to make Britain great again. That is our objective, and to do that we've got to take colonies and stuff. So everything that goes on Europe, we're ignoring it. It's none of our business. Unless we can screw things up in Europe, in which case that's totally our business and that's absolutely what we will do. But we are more interested in the world at large, and we want to expand our holdings there. Now, British Raj, as a puppet, we can't actually release it, and I did look into ways of doing that, and I could not find one that I was happy with. When we become a fascist nation, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, they will all leave the Allies and we can create our own new faction at that point. So that's how that's going to work. But the main reason for going fascist, like I said, is that we can declare war on anyone. A democracy cannot declare a war on anyone that has not generated any world tension. And for neutral nations, that is very, very, very unlikely. And if we want to bring Australia and the likes back into the Commonwealth, then we're going to have to declare war on them to retake them in the same way that we will have to do the same to the US at some point. So yeah, the very first thing that we'll be doing once we have the political power is switching on John Beckett, who is the fascist demagogue. We'll switch to a fascist dictatorship as soon as we can, and then we will more or less play from that point on. So we will be speeding through things rather quickly. Now let's set things up. Initially, we could build some new stuff. I think we probably should. Let's get some new factories going. Something like that looks good to me. We're not going to recruit anything. What are we short on? We are short on infantry equipment, support equipment, and that's it, really. So let's increase that, increase that. Do we want more light tanks? We probably don't need any more light tanks. We'll get a couple just for repairs. Aircraft I'm not going to bother building right now. We'll switch to those later. We'll also turn these to building just the one and finish those off as soon as possible, because I'm sure that we will be unlocking better classes later. The other thing that we want to do is grab all of our ships and have them go up here to Inverness, and we want all the submarines, that is, then all the regular ships we want to send to Portsmouth, and then from there we can divide up our ships a little bit better than they are currently assigned. Okay, that is good. We do still have 3 factories. How many? Oh, quite a few. Alright, let's do something like that. You know what? I could also do some more motorized. Never have too many motorized. Okay, so we're going to build those. We'll stick that. And then that. And then as we build more stuff, that will be good. Technology, as always, we want to do industry first. I shouldn't need that one. Research time, which we have already. Because we're Britain, we start with radar and stuff already, which is fantastic. Yes, we want that one. And we have another slot. And we probably want tactical heavy fighters. Probably do want heavy fighters. Oh, no, we want a hurricane, of course. Then we can start building hurricanes and things will be a lot better. Right, so our army. A whole bunch of these guys are going to be abroad, so I'm just going to bring everyone home and then reassign from that point, except maybe the guy in Gibraltar. He can probably stay there. All of you lot, come to there. Except for you, you stay there. Stay. There you go. The guys in Africa, we're probably going to lose that because we won't have South Africa anymore, and we've lost Egypt already, so we don't have Suez. Hong Kong, he's on his way home. British Raj, we can't really do much with. Don't think we had anyone over there. There are some ships. Right. That's you lot done. No templates, low manpower. Yeah, manpower is going to be an issue. That is definitely going to be our biggest problem in this playthrough. It's going to be manpower, I think. And then air. Wait. I don't think I've ever used this. I've always done it from here. Oh, I have used this. This is different. George, what? Already? Like, died in the first month of the game. That's really irritating. Because that means that we're going to have that weekly national unity penalty for quite some time. And we have some free dockyards, really. Just do that until those are done. And then we can probably upgrade our shipping from there. Are we building convoys? Because I don't think we should. Nope. Good. Continue. So what exactly are we thinking about here? Well, I think I probably want to go after some more foreign areas. Possibly South America, though that's likely to upset the US. Possibly Australia and the Commonwealth nations. Possibly Africa. We could continue our imperialist ambitions here in Africa. That's not actually a bad shout. Maybe the Middle East to secure Iran, Iraq. Yeah, we definitely have options. And then let's grab you lot and move you to, say, London. Marvellous. Yeah, our national unity is currently tanking. I don't appreciate that. We're still waiting for national focus, political power, and because we're waiting for that to go up, we cannot have a national focus, otherwise we would be generating even less. So right now it is more or less just allowing time to pass. Now we're not playing with historical focuses, so Germany could do something mad like, I don't know, invade Switzerland if they really wanted to. That's entirely feasible and possible. Nope, still waiting. You should be turned off. Don't want you. Once all of our armies have arrived here, then we can start assigning them. Is that all our ships? Clearly not, because you're there. Right, so let's grab all of you, merge you. Let's grab all of you, merge you. What are we left with? You, and you. Should all be here. Spanish Civil War has kicked off. Interesting. Okay. And you should be there too. That was quicker than usual. Hold on. Italy? Oh, and that's why we're getting extra ships, because we've actually been churning out shipping really, really quickly. Right, so what type of stuff are we likely to need? I think we are going to pump out some more of the tier 2 destroyers, just because they're the best ship that we can get right now. We'll leave it on auto and we will max that out. That looks fine to me. Let's group you. Submarines. Is that really all this? We start with 8 subs? I thought we had more than that. How far out are you guys? Still a ways. Oh, because we have good relations with Egypt, I guess we can still go through there. What are you moving? And you two, why haven't you gone over here? Like I told you. Okay, you lot. Create that. And this is going to be the home guard. Dad's army. There we are. The home guard. Huzzah! 3 cheers for the home guard. And yeah, you can join them too. Cool! Now who's left? And why weren't you in that list? You are. No, there's several of them. Yeah, a whole bunch of you have decided not to appear. Not you. None of you are exempt from this order to make your way to there. Now move. And you. Yes, you. New army, just so I know who you are. Gibraltar. Right, onwards. There we are, short on resources. We need a little bit of oil, and not that important. Group. Is that all of them? That is all of them. Right, so here is our total fleet. We have got 4 carriers, 12 battleships, 3 battle cruisers, 16 heavy cruisers, 32 light cruisers, 131 destroyers, and 35 submarines. Now, first of all, we do need to separate out those subs. I thought we had some more. And we can send you to there. That is you moving. Good. I do not want you moving, because right now you are. Stop. Okay, you going? You're going. Good. Okay, so home fleet, clearly you are the main fleet, and we will want our best admirals here. Blockade runner, superior tactician. Blockade runner means retreat, fleet speed. You would be good in the Mediterranean. So let's split off a new Mediterranean fleet. We are going to grab all of our carriers. Except they don't seem to be appearing in this list. Why not? There they are. You, and you. We also want a couple of battleships. If we'll take the battle cruisers so we can actually catch any Italian fleets we see out there. And those battleships. And then we'll want a couple of destroyers. Something like that. Some light cruisers. Heavy cruisers, sure. Something like that. And then a bunch of light cruisers, yes. That will do. Right, you are the Med fleet. You are most likely to be doing the heavy lifting, because that is where the Italian fleet tends to hang out, and we said Cunningham because he is blockade runner. That is good. Mediterranean fleet will be docked in Malta. And yes, you are in fact based in Malta too. Home fleet, you are based in Portsmouth. Submarine fleet, when you have merged, will be based in Inverness. You have merged? Yes, you have. You are based. Scottish Highlands, apparently. Right, your commander is going to be... Do we have any submarine guys? We have a spotter. I think the retreat decision chance guy would be the best option for you. Or spotter. No, we'll take the spotter. Algernon Willis, you are our submarine commander. Marvellous. Alright, your job is quite simple. Garrison Britain. While we think about what we are going to do. Because we can't really do anything until we're a fascist. Whoops, that's the whole of Scotland. Okay, good. Remilitarization of the Rhineland. Yes, we will issue an objection. In fact, once we are a fascism, the very first thing we will do is restore Ireland to the rightful empire. And we can build more ships. I think we should. What kind of ships do we want? Another carrier? Nah. Another battleship, just while we're kind of waiting? Could do that. So what's the difference between the Elizabeth and the Nelson? 152, 5, 30, 10. 152, 5, 30, 11. Your shore bombardment's better. 32, 10, 18, 2. 34, 10, 22. Alright, so the Nelson class is better, so we're going to start building a Nelson. There's clearly a different type of ship. Is there any way I can see the types of ship I can build so I can rename it to be like the Mark 1, so I know it's the better one? Apparently not. That is somewhat irritating. Unless I can do it in this screen. Alright. We'll do that. Ooh, we need more oil. Yes, we do need more oil. I knew that already. And, do we want dispersed or concentrated industry? I'm going to expect that we're going to have a rather large air force. So I think that concentrated will be just fine. Now, what are the actual differences? Output 20, max factories 20. Output 10, factories 20 still. But you do have reduction in vulnerability, and you retain production more often. No, concentrated's fine. Okay. Oh, can we please get the new king? Like, soon. Pretty please. And the other thing I wanted to do is have you lot begin training. So let's put probably Montgomery in charge. How many of you are there? 26. You are? Brooke is in fact a better field marshal. Supply consumption, combat width, offensive doctrine, defensive doctrine. Now we do actually want the less supply consumption, so we don't use quite as much as I assume we will be using while we are exercising. Now the reason for this is we do have a number of soldiers who are weaker level. So you can train up to a regular from trained or even green. The other reason for doing this is you actually earn army experience while you're exercising. So you can see there from exercise we're getting 0.052 daily. And I have been waiting way too long and I wasted a bunch of time. I just realized. I'm very sorry about that. Right, so fascism is on the rise. Higher-ups may harbour unspoken... Yeah, see, the younger generation was actually remain, generally. So we're going to say it's the higher-ups, the older people who want fascism to rise. And now we will actually be generating some fascist ideas. So that means we can select a new focus, and I think that limited rearmament would be the way to go. So base national unity would also be good. Nah, we'll rearm. Build up our industries more quickly. I think that is a good idea. We are losing manpower. How's the tech going? The tech is going acceptably. Why are we losing tech? Veteran difficulty. So yes, veteran difficulty increases the amount of time it takes to do technology. It decreases the amount of political power you get. I really have wasted a lot of time before I got fascism, which is bad. Oh well. Hawker Hurricane. Yes, and that is good too. 1940 would be the next one. Now, I am tempted to get a heavy fighter because they are better at shooting down bombers. But I'm not really expecting that to be much of an issue just yet. The other doing is getting a better carrier so we can start doing a little more force shooty outiness. Grand battle plan. What doctrine do we want? We could continue on our naval doctrines. Battleship, search and destroy, and organization, battlecruiser and heavy cruiser. Okay, so when it comes to deciding what ship types we're going to use, we are probably going to be using battleships and heavy cruisers. Battle cruisers are basically cheap battleships, and heavy cruisers are good light cruisers. Light cruisers are more there if you don't need destroyers. Destroyers, of course, being the anti-sub, so if you're playing as, say, the US, where submarines aren't so much of an issue, then you probably want to be playing light cruisers instead of destroyers. For us, we want heavy cruisers because they are a cheaper force expanding alternative, and they're very good at hunting down enemy ships for the battleships to then close and kill. And we are Britain, so we're going to be really good at putting battleships. Anyway, so yeah, heavy cruisers, battleships and destroyers is what we will be doing. Leadership purges in Soviet Union. What are these guys actually doing? Industrial effort, naval bomber focus, okay. NKVD primacy, interesting. And we are still very slightly short on oil. How's the rise of fascism doing? 7%. Games are concluded, okay. And as we generate experience, we will actually be able to tweak our starting unit types slightly. Limited rearmament, that was pretty quick. It's not actually a bad thing that we've generated some political power. It will get used. It's just a shame that we wasted time on this. We can now deploy motorized infantry divisions. Nah. More than 10%, well, tension is currently at 1%. Needs more than 5% for that. So we are kind of locked out. Don't think we need home defense so much. Alright, let's reinforce the empire then. Make Britain great again and all that. Haha. Do we need to send fleets anywhere else? We have no China anymore. We could have some fleets around British Raj just to make sure that's safe. Particularly destroyers, I guess. So, why have you not gone to Malta? Who did I send to Malta? Yeah. So, why are you here? You should be up here. And you? Yeah, see, why is this selecting you? Oh, because you're based in Sussex. Shouldn't be. You should be based here. There we go, Malta. And yes, I will need to build the naval base up in Malta so it repairs the ships and things a little more quickly. Meanwhile, home fleet. Let's separate out a couple more. We'll send 2 battleship, no, not 3, 2. Let's try that again, shall we? 2 battleships. Queen Elizabeth class, yes, that's good. We wanted a couple of destroyers, maybe 30. And then four heavy cruisers because we can just build some more. Then a bunch of light cruisers so we can cover the distance out there. Yeah, that'll do. And you are the India Sea Fleet, or the India Fleet. I don't even need to defend Canada anymore, which is nice. Let's see. Don't want Old Guard. AA, I'm not really expecting much AA out there. I mean, if we went Pacific Theatre, then we might do. But I guess we'll just use Bruce Fraser. And you are going to be based out of whichever of these is bigger. That one. Off you go. Okay. Mechanical computing, that is more research speed, which is excellent. It is still 36. So I think it is time for another ship class. we've done all the industry that we can do. Yes. Okay, so I think we should start researching the larger heavy cruiser. The Surrey class. Jolly good county, that one. We don't need to be building any more troops. Manpower, not much I can do about that just yet. We will be able to switch through the industrial and manpower laws very, very quickly once we switch to fascism, actually. How far are we? 12%. It's going to take a while, which is unfortunate. Nelson class, creating those. Spain is falling rather quickly to the nationalists, which I guess theoretically is good for me if I'm going to become fascist. How's the army training doing? It's actually going pretty well. Oh, you could be doing a bit of exercising too. Jump to it! And we're down to 55%. Come on! Aha, reinforce the empire. Marvellous. We still can't do those. What does this give me? No. Army, Navy, and Air experience. Ooh, that's additional research time? Yes, please. Marvellous, let's do that. Oh, tension's now 0. Fantastic. That means I can't do anything as a democracy. How's this going? We have 4 regiments still to go. Alright. How's my construction list? Getting there. Probably do it a bit more civilian. There we go. Edward abdicates, we get George VI in charge instead. 80% national unity. Fan-frickin-tastic. Okay. And it stops the reduction too, which is nice. We have got 19% fascists. Need to wait a little bit longer. And we can now edit our armies. Concentrated industry. Okay, excellent. We are in December of that, so we're going to wait without a technology for a while, because once you do lock in the technology, you do actually get the time penalty. It is now, however, the 1st of January, so we can get the next tech. I think we want more construction speed at this point. Make it happen. Fascist sympathies in the military. National spirit outranks the government. If public support is sufficient, a coup can be executed. Several high-ranking members of the British military have expressed support, some privately and some openly, for the fascist movement in the United Kingdom. They feel the Conservative Party has forgotten how important discipline and patriotism is to keeping the country together, and are increasingly annoyed by the army being treated by the government as more of a tool than one of the nation's most important institutions. Some of them go so far as to suggest the new government is needed, one that knows how to lead the United Kingdom with strength and tradition into the next half of the century. This faction may not predominantly be politicians, but some of them have gained positions in the Department of Defense. If these developments continue, they may have sufficient political support to execute a coup. Alright then. Onwards! Still short 2 oil. Do I have an imbalance in my trade by any chance? I'm not importing anything right now. It's all what I produce already. Service overseas. Aha. Okay. And with that, we can now encourage the colonial elite. You know, we need staff for the colonies once they're re-established. We need good men to administrate them. And women, I guess. Yes, and women. Okay, so a couple of days until we have these two. Better class of carrier. I guess we could lay one down. That's the Ark Royal. I was actually a naval cadet, and we were tied to the Ark Royal aircraft carrier. Could start on the next class of battleship. That would actually be a very good idea. Make it happen. Oh, and I have another technology. Of course, we got the doctrine. Sortie efficiency, a carrier organization, destroy sub detection. It's not a bad one to take. We should probably continue working on some of these as well. I do still quite like the battle plan. So we could also do superior firepower. We need one which reduces the amount of manpower you use. More organization, more defense. Interesting. Artillery is better, more artillery soft attack. Support battalion, soft attack. Mechanized offensive, that's tanks and armor are better. And then this is tying our army with our air force, I think. Ish. This is just making the army itself better. Now, one of the advantages of this is it does give you the extra recruitable population, which is nice. Tactics, so that gives you double. We might need that one. Besides, who doesn't want to have an army of wheelchair rocket launchers? I mean, come on. I think it will be mobile warfare, so we can hit and run. We'll switch to that. That is totally fine. Okay, and on that point, we are going to end this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoy this series of Brexit Britain. I do hope also that you realise that this is a satire. So please don't kill me. If you're enjoying the series, then do hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, then also hit that subscribe. If you have any tips or advice for me, then do let me know in the comments. And if you want to yell at me for not having hired the fascist demagogue for several months, that would also be the place to do it. I hope to catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you then.